Welcome to the Pod Bay Door.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. This is the Pod Bay Door. You can join us every Tuesday for info and opinions on the newest tech, movies, games, and, of course, insider information, history, and maybe even some crazy secrets about our home, Las Vegas, Nevada. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. You can find us on iTunes Podcast at the Pod Bay Door. Our YouTube channel is the Pod Bay Door Podcast, or find us on any of your podcast apps, all those favorite ones that you have. And hey, if you get a chance, subscribe to us and give us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Just hit those like and subscribe buttons. We do appreciate that. Coming up on this episode, 3 ways not to be that guy in Vegas. Big news for Han Solo and the T-Rex. Las Vegas Raiders Stadium just might be too high. And of course, the Topless Report, Nerd Alert, Gear Grinders, and Area 52. For Adam, this is Jamey. Hi, Adam.
What's going on?
Our producer, Sam, is on the line with us from his home. He's been a little under the weather, but he's connected to us remotely. How you doing, Sam?
Doing great, guys. Glad to be back. How you guys been?
We've been really
Good.
well.
We missed you, Sam.
Yeah, we missed you, man.
Oh, trust me, I miss you guys too. I love this show.
Cool. Hey, a big thank you to our new listeners in Indiana and Ohio. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate everybody out there. Keep those comments and show suggestions coming in. We love them all. I got one from a friend of the show. He's a friend of Adam's, but I had to include it because he had a very thoughtful comment regarding my comments regarding marijuana. Now, I've truncated this a bit, but Brandon wrote quite a bit to me, but
I knew you were going to get something.
I know,
yeah.
I know. But Brandon says marijuana, and ultimately he said helps me put my thinking cap on. Well, Brandon, you know, Adam knows that I have a pretty long and involved opinions about marijuana, but that it helps you put your. I do understand. Brandon actually said, "Have I ever been encountered a problem?" And he meant. I'm assuming he meant a work problem. You know, like I was stuck on a creative situation.
Okay. Like you had writer's block or something.
Writer's block, or in this case, video block.
Sure.
And he said he's had that many times, and that he imbibes with a little bit of marijuana, and it allows him to think outside the box.
Sure.
And do that. Well, unfortunately. Okay, I do accept that, and I think a lot of people do that. And if you look at all the classic artists in any area, it is very often they have used illicit substances.
They dabbled a bit, yeah.
Definitely.
Exactly. Every painter in the world and every composer, they were all.
Look at the greatest painter in the world, Bob Ross. You know that guy was awesome.
Big Bob.
He was so relaxed every time.
Yeah, he was high as a kite.
He must have been awesome, right?
Every picture had a damn tree. He's like,
right.
Hey man,
had a little happy tree
in the background here. We're gonna put it right here, guys. Don't worry about it.
But my point is, Brandon, is that regardless of each individual's reaction to it, and some I've been told very clearly that it did nothing. Others actually got kind of sick and it sucked. They didn't like it. But it is still, as with alcohol, you are being influenced by an outside source. That's why you can't drive. You're under the influence. You are not yourself. However creative you might be. Now, obviously, beyond all of this, people who are ill, and have different cancers and things, take whatever you want. But I can't let Brandon go on this one.
See, I wouldn't say that it makes you any more creative, all right? But like John said, it strips away some of the, outside influences, the anxieties, the depressions, that kind of thing.
Right.
And it may make you tap into that creativity a little more.
Right.
That's where I would say.
People, everyone, like you said, everyone reacts differently to marijuana itself. And for those who have used it and those who don't use it, they're all gonna see it from different perspectives. But I mean, you enjoy watching documentaries, and so do I. And I enjoy those documentaries where marijuana has helped people. You've seen those
Sure.
families where they moved over to Denver to purposely get a hold of the Charlotte strand to help their child with either cerebral palsy or any other form of different diseases. So I
Right.
mean, I've seen the good outcome of marijuana, and for me, I'm gonna always be pro marijuana because it helps people. We've seen the results. The only people that are against it are big pharmaceutical. I mean, I
Well,
hate to
you
quote Joe Rogan, but he's kind of on the right track. If big pharmaceutical, are going to lose to this natural form that's grown in the ground, that's not chemically altered, like all these pills we take that damage our liver and kidneys, who wouldn't be for it? You know, like me being stuck on so many form of medication, a lot of these are going to harm my kidneys and liver in the long run, right? And
Right.
that's horrible. That the idea that is freaking horrible. Why am I taking all these medication that's going to hurt me in the long run
Right.
if I have a form of natural herbal medication that's going to help my body actually relax and let my blood cells, do their thing and just not be stressed out, not work harder to break down all the chemical compounds that's going through my body. Because like a daily, honestly, I'm taking like probably anywhere between the ballpark of 6 to 9 different pills just to help level me out, right?
Right.
And then there's side effects. The basic side effects are either, oh, hey, you're gonna have stomach issues, or hey, you're gonna feel a little bit of anxiety, but here's some anxiety meds to help cancel that out.
just throw you
Oh,
another
but that
pill, right?
meds might give you
Right.
depression, heads up. So I
Right. It's
mean,
just kind of an endless cycle.
yeah,
Well, I
it's an
think we
endless
both agree
cycle.
that the medical reasons and benefits from marijuana are worth it.
Mhm.
But Jamie's more arguing along the lines of commercial use for the everyday person.
Well,
The legalities of having it be out there for everybody and not
Oh
just
yeah, that's true. That's true.
the
I agree
medical
there
base.
because you should really know your limit, just like alcohol. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
know
for
your limit
people like me
and
and you, yeah, we may know our limits, but most people,
Yeah.
Jamie and I, consider most people are not smart, if you will.
Yeah.
yes, yes.
So they could abuse it and they can use it in ways that are not
It,
you know.
it ruins for everybody else,
Yeah,
basically.
Well, no,
exactly.
this country has no level of moderation and hasn't
None.
for decades.
No.
No.
My point is, Sam, and you're absolutely right. And again, when it comes to health issues, yours and anyone and the poor the young lady, the child that you were mentioning in that documentary, she had a terrible form of epilepsy.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, but absolutely. Give them whatever they want. Heroin. I don't care. Give them something to have some peace. What I'm talking about are the majority of people that are thrilled about the marijuana laws being relaxed. They're not sick. They don't have glaucoma. They just want to get high, and we're going to end up with a nation of zombies. They're fat. They're high, and
Well, we're already headed that way. I don't think
Well, we are.
marijuana is going to be the
No, but do we?
straw on the camel's back.
Not at all. We're broken already. But do we want to put the cherry on the top of that devastating sundae? Do we really want to do that? I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
We're splitting metaphors here.
We are.
here's my question. No. I'm not like trying to split hair, but here's my question. Aren't we already in a nation of zombies with all those pill situation?
Sure, we
Like
are.
there's a great
Well,
debate
see, for
about all
some
these
it's going to
people.
be an escape, and for some it's going to be an abuse.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
but again, do we? Everybody that we're so thrilled about this, and I don't. I guess that's the rudimentary level of everything. Is I don't understand why we want to add this to our list. Like in a previous podcast, the government gave up. They were like, oh, okay, fine, we don't care. And it's I'm not. I'm not informed enough about marijuana to make the statement that it is bad for you, but I'm telling you, it's not good for you. It's not good for you for the everyday
What we can
person.
do is we can start a campaign, right? We can try
Yeah.
and get Joe Rogan into our show, and then you and
Yeah.
Joe Rogan can
Let's
have a nice
Kickstarter this.
convo.
I
And
would
me and
love.
Anna will watch this.
Oh, I would love to. I would like to speak to Joe Rogan on several topics that he's mentioned. He is surprisingly well informed. The problem is that I don't have a background in having ingested marijuana, so I it's tough on me. But
Joe will get you stoned first.
Oh yeah, no, well he does.
If Joe Rogan gets on this podcast,
yes,
will you smoke first?
No.
Damn it.
No, never.
That's right.
Never.
Well,
Joe
Rogan, if you're listening to our show, can you please join us one of these days, Joe Rogan? Pretty please.
But hey, Brandon, thank you for the comments. I appreciate any side of the argument of any topic, and we really appreciate you tuning in. YouTube, you got on.
Thanks, Brando.
Brando.
Thank you, Brando.
All right,
Brando.
All right. Well, it's time for the Topless Report. Where are they naked now? I love this one. I love it. I love it. I love it. You order an Uber driver, and the crazy bastard shows up naked.
Oh, is it a chick?
Oh no, well, no. I saw the article as it regarded a Vegas Uber driver. It was not a chick. He was a tubby black dude.
Dang it.
Yikes!
But then I started looking into it. It's a thing.
It's
a thing all over the country, And I
an
don't
epidemic.
Really?
I don't care how open you are and how good natured you are, and how drunk you are. You don't want some person, girl or otherwise, girl or guy, showing up to drive you home naked. It's just weird. It's not hot.
That's a little weird.
It's not hot at all, And but it was hysterical.
How you doing? You call for a ride?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Especially, sorry guys, about to say, especially it's not hot at all in this Vegas heat.
Yes.
Like,
You're going to be like
sweaty,
some
you're
old
like,
sweaty guy.
oh,
Yeah.
no thanks.
Exactly. But as you start delving into the articles regarding this type of situation for Lyft and Uber, and less about cabs, because cabs are regulated, internally. It doesn't seem like Ubers are. It goes then into them showing up naked and then being caught doing something.
Didn't the Uber
during the
CEO
drive.
just step down?
He actually
Something
quit,
about
dude.
that?
He's done.
Yeah, he's done. He's
done.
I don't know why. I mean, because it's irritating. I think.
Supposedly, it's sexual harassment issues, not from him, but within the company.
Yeah.
And the
Well,
shareholders.
he can't regulate any of those people out there just on the daily.
No, I'm an absolute opponent of Uber and Lyft, and I have no support whatsoever. All my friends, Carla, who's been on the show.
I've never used it.
Yeah, and they tell me how wonderful it is, and like Carla, for example, is like a platinum member or something of that
Right,
nature.
I remember her saying that every time she goes out,
Yeah.
she would just Uber.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just easier for her. Huh?
Yeah, so it's I don't know. I think it's unsafe. I think it's unregulated, and I think it's unnecessary.
Well, speaking of Topless Report, I think we missed the opportunity. We should have sent someone to the field last week for EDC to definitely cover the Topless Report there. I think we hit a big milestone.
I actually got some notes on EDC. I can throw those out now.
Go ahead.
All right. So there were 140,000 people there in this.
At the
Motor Speedway in
Las
Vegas.
Vegas,
All sweaty and hot, and there was 1,090 medical calls.
Well, yeah, folks who's listening, Vegas really is that hot. We've experienced in the last week in the 117 range.
Yeah, record time heat here.
Yeah,
I think we had like 5 days in a row of over 110 degrees.
Yes. So to use what those wacky kids are saying, it was hot as balls.
Hot as balls. Yeah,
it was lit. It was so lit.
So over 1,000 medical calls. They had 16 people hospitalized and 1 death.
Yep.
One death.
One death. Yeah.
It was the paramedic who was trying to treat everybody. Had a heart attack.
It's just overheat, man. Yeah. So man, it was.
Wow. How many injuries or heat related things?
Heat related, it didn't say, but
how many?
1,000 calls
calls.
and 16 hospitalized.
Wow.
Hey, Adam, and on the numbers, there was over like 100 drug busts and over 90 actual drug hand.
Right, like felony arrests.
Like a little bin.
Yeah.
Where they can turn into drugs.
Actually, I had that 95 felonies.
Wow.
95 felonies.
95 felonies. I like how you put that. Now, the death was what?
It was unreleased.
Unreleased. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think it probably was due to heat.
Heat, yeah.
Yeah, it was like 105 temperature, and he started convulsing. So.
He had 105.
Yeah.
I was like, 105, it's nothing.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Well, that's very common, though. I mean,
it's so hot out
this
there.
last
And
week,
then they're charging like $10 for a bottle of water, and the lines are probably, an hour long. So.
My local grocery store gives it away for free when people walk in. I saw it of complimentary water.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. The golf courses do, too.
Oh, I think that's a terrible thing to do, not to offer water. But what else you got? Anything? I didn't see anything.
That was it on EDC.
All the great people were there, but man, it's outdoors. I can't imagine.
For 2-3 days at a time.
Yeah, and all the electronics and gear, and oh my God, I'm worried about my stuff at 100.
I know.
Oh my God.
Like I said, I would do it one time to see what it was like.
I would love it, but I'd have to be in a bubble, like a Lady Gaga bubble, or I could just
don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
I would go, but I have to wear like one of those suits from Mr. Freeze. Just like stay cool the whole time.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Although Sam, you rise above everybody. Like at 6'6", you don't need to worry about it.
True.
But we'll roll from EDC to the Nerd Alert.
Nice.
Oh yeah, the good stuff.
I wanted to start it off with the 2018 Hollywood Walk of Fame inductees. And there was quite a list, and this ranges from movies and TV to production, all that kind of stuff.
I have a note about that, but go ahead. I one inclusion on that.
Sure. There was quite a list. I just wrote down some highlights, and we can debate whether or not they deserve it or not. Jack Black, Jeff Goldblum.
Bloom for sure. Goldblum for sure.
Yeah, Mark Hamill.
Interesting.
Yes,
Jennifer Lawrence.
Too soon.
Yeah, too soon.
Yeah. I'm burnt out on Jennifer Lawrence. I'm so burnt out.
I
she hurt me in X-Men.
I'm
well,
with you
it
there,
wasn't her
Sam.
fault. No, Lawrence, I think, is a prodigy actor, but and I think she's actually quite attractive. Too soon.
I think she's a great actress and beautiful, like you said, but not quite yet.
Yeah.
Minnie Mouse.
Absolutely.
Way too late, I would say.
Yeah, too late.
Zoe Saldana.
Long overdue.
Zoe Saldana.
Zoe Saldana from Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Too soon.
Again, yeah, she's been out a lot, but maybe a little young.
You could see
I don't
they're
know. She I think she kicked enough ass to get there.
Well,
have you guys ever seen her in Columbiana?
Well, no, she's fantastic and in everything, and she was great in the Losers.
Losers, yeah.
Yes, good callback.
But the problem is that I think those stars should be based on time, resume. It's obvious that they're trying to get a little
some
bit more
young blood in there.
Yeah, and get people to care about it more.
Sure.
Yeah. But go ahead.
Okay, I see that. Yeah, true. I see that.
Simon Cowell.
Ugh.
Interesting choice there. I don't know if
as a producer. I mean,
I think this was for specifically being on TV for The Voice or whatever he does.
And America's Got all that stuff. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if they've given many producer stars, but I would say too soon.
Did he buy his? So
I would say too soon and miscategorized. I just, especially if it's for just him sitting judging. No judge whatsoever should get it. No Stern, no Mel B.
Right.
Nobody.
Right. Snoop Dogg.
Snoop.
I think he smoked enough to pay his dues.
I think he's got his dues. Yeah,
I think,
definitely.
He's paid his dues, and I think he's crossed decades. So he's lasted.
Right.
Kind of like
still almost relevant. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like Steven Tyler and Aerosmith. Yeah. I mean, he's there
in the scene.
He's lasted for a while, dude. I agree.
I just saw Aerosmith not too long ago. Actually, they put on a good show.
Yeah. I mean, and if you think about it this way, if you throw the name out Simon Cowell to 100 people, a large percentage of them won't even know who it is.
Right.
And then if you say Snoop Dogg, almost every one of them is going, "Oh, Snoop!"
Oh, Snoop!
Like they know him. Yeah. So yeah.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I'm hands down for this one.
Big fan.
Weird Al is the king.
Based on what I just said about the lasting
he's
nature,
still lasting. Yeah.
Yeah, but he kind of fell off the table though.
No,
he's
but
got
you
a
go ask
podcast
100 people though.
He's got a podcast now, so of course everybody has a podcast.
Exactly right. Yeah. Lin-Manuel Miranda. He was the guy that
Hamilton.
Did the, Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton.
Big on Broadway.
Too soon.
Yeah, I mean that was a big hit.
That's
but
one hit.
Yeah,
amazing, but one hit.
Posthumously, Steve Irwin.
Okay.
And Bernie Mac.
Steve Irwin, I think, lovely
person.
Yeah, person, and I think he's done.
I don't know what category that one was for.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
He was a television personality, but I think the way he furthered wildlife studies, he absolutely deserves it. And of course, the tragic way he died, a ridiculous way he died. But now, his son has taken up the reins.
Yeah,
and you see him
and his daughter too.
And his Bindi,
sure.
Bindi. And they're all on the talk shows. But no, I'll give it to Steve. That's a lovely gesture to make. And I'm sorry, what was the
Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac.
Yeah, comedian.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just his work in with Soderbergh and Ocean's 11. Sure, I'll give it to him. Now, I have one I saw. It was a YouTube clip that I saw, and it was maybe it was last year's, but it was John Goodman. I think it was last year. John Goodman was getting his star. Absolutely, he deserves it. But it was being given the star by Jeff Bridges as the dude.
Nice.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Yeah,
that's clever.
Brilliant.
I didn't know if it was last year.
It must have been last year. I
It
didn't see that name in there.
Yeah.
That's
but
funny.
No, very cool. I didn't see that.
Yeah, and there was
fantastic.
plenty more on that list too.
Yeah.
They actually put a lot of stars in there.
Yeah, clearly, I think the city of Los Angeles or whatever county it is, they're trying to beef it up and get a new generation of people caring about the stars, as they should.
Sure.
We should care about that, but they need to be careful to, have the same, level
quality. You want to keep it,
yeah,
a certain level to get on.
Yeah, not any of those actors are fantastic, but I think they need a little bit more resume credit.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
There was a few. A few are definitely questionable.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, I had some cool names on there. All right, let's jump into Jurassic World. The sequels finally got a little teaser.
You hated the last one, right?
No, I kind of enjoyed the last one.
No, you didn't hate it.
Yeah.
Sam, did you like it?
What? Who would hate it? That movie was amazing.
Jurassic World, Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
I thought now last time
a lot
I
of
spoke
negative
to you
press
guys,
on this one.
No, I thought the last time I spoke to you guys that when she's doing a full-on sprint down the road in high heels, you're like, no.
Well, yeah, that's dumb. Like every movie can have like flaws. All right.
Okay. All right.
But overall, I thought the movie was pretty good. Sequel's coming out. The title is Fallen Kingdom.
Yes.
Doesn't give a whole lot away, but interesting.
They haven't given a whole lot away yet, but from what I read, like little side notes.
Yeah.
It's possibly about B.D. Wong's character coming back this time, and they're weaponizing the dinosaurs. So we'll figure out what they mean by weaponizing it. I'm pretty excited for that.
And you know who else is coming back? The tagline.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum, Ian Malcolm. So the tagline is life finds a way.
Life finds a way.
Right, which was Ian Malcolm's big line in the first movie. So he's coming back hopefully.
So Jeff is basically just redoing all of his films. Jurassic, The Fly. He's got to do The Fly. That's great.
He got a star for it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's good paycheck for him. He'll be fine.
Now I'm gonna folks. I'm gonna check to see if I'm working with a bunch of young kids here.
All right.
Do you know one of his credits, Buckaroo Banzai?
No.
In the Adventures in the Eighth Dimension.
I don't know that one.
Oh my gosh. With Fred, where he wore chaps through the entire film.
Oh man, was this before or after The Fly?
Before.
Must be before.
Before he was with.
Was this before the telephone or after the telephone?
No, rotary dial. It was rotary dial phone for sure.
I thought for a second you were on a movie there, Sam.
But look it up, kids. Buckaroo Banzai and the Adventures in the Eighth Dimension. It was actually kind of a cool film back in the day.
Wasn't he also in Earth Girls Are Easy?
Yes.
Yes, he was.
I have seen that one.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And they are indeed. All right, we got more visual entertainment. What's Watchmen?
Watchmen. Watchmen. The
series.
It's going to be a TV show on HBO now.
Okay, now this is based on comic book obviously, but the film by
the film Zack Snyder did Watchmen the movie. This will be based on the comic book, which was by Alan Moore.
Okay.
And this will be nothing to do with the movie. It'll be kind of a reimagining of the comic book.
Okay.
Yeah. But this will be an HBO series, so you know how Game of Thrones is just.
So it'll be pretty dark.
And it can be as bloody or as dark as they want on HBO. So it could be.
And that's who Stan Lee is working for.
Stan Lee, he's working for everybody, I guess.
But no, his character, he's working for the Watchmen, right?
Oh yes, this is true, but different Watchmen actually.
It is different Watchmen.
Different
Watchmen. Is. Okay, I thought it was the same.
I see that. The Marvel universe has a group.
Watchers. Is it Watchers?
Yeah, they're Watchers.
Okay,
exactly.
I'm sorry. All right.
Yeah. And actually, Watchmen just got kind of put in together with DC. They have like a crossover,
right?
With
right.
DC,
no, not too many spoilers. It's called the Button storyline.
Yeah, not too many spoilers, but they're bringing the like a new age Watchmen into DC now. So
okay,
it could be cool.
Okay, so Watchmen is DC. It's categorized as DC, or is it an?
It is categorized as DC.
Technically, it is DC now.
It is.
Now it is. When it was originally, put out, it was not DC, and then DC picked it up.
It was Vertigo, right?
Yeah, I think it was Vertigo.
Okay.
Originally belonged to Vertigo, but DC became powerhouse, starts buying up everybody and their copyrights.
Right.
Okay.
So
Now,
Mr. Moore is rolling around, his eyes back and forth, like,
Right.
why are they doing this to my characters?
Right. Okay, cool. And then the last one I love.
The last one here is about the Han Solo Star Wars spin-off movie.
Han Solo.
Yes, the Han Solo.
So Adam, what's the rules here? Do we talk about a group text, how it blew up?
Sure. This is really why I put it on here. Was because we had such an argument over this on our group text.
It blew up everywhere.
Salty friends.
Well, so what happened was
no names, okay? We'll just mention saltiness, but no names.
Right.
Level. So Disney, who owns Star Wars and Lucasfilm now, they fired the directors.
Yes.
Who were Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Yes.
They fired them, and they're bringing in Ron Howard to finish up this Han Solo.
Okay.
And I, for one thing, it's a great idea. I love Ron Howard.
Mm-hmm.
He's, Academy Award-winning director coming into this big film franchise.
Right.
And then my other friends were like, this is a terrible idea. Ron Howard hasn't done anything in the last 10 years. We need the fresh blood of these directors into these movies now.
Right.
Right. I don't know. So these two directors they fired, they were the guys that were responsible for the 21 Jump Street movies, the Lego movie.
You're not impressing me.
No, that's what I'm saying. These were not like blockbusters of any kind. They were funny, but just
technically, Lego movie was a blockbuster.
Well, yeah. I guess
it brought in big numbers, and it got 75.
Well, I mean, so did Transformers 5. So what are we talking about here?
I'm talking about the money wise. You gotta follow the money like all studios do nowadays.
Right. My only concern about Ron Howard is that I think the fact that he hasn't done anything in a while. I mean, he did what was it with Hemsworth, Heart of the Sea.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the film, but I didn't like the Melville book, Moby Dick. Anyway, so he has done something, within the last decade.
Sure.
It takes him, it takes you 4 years to produce a film anyway. The problem with Ron, I think, over the years, starting with, for example, Apollo, they're not edgy. And I wonder because he's getting older, and he's not venerable like Clint Eastwood, but I think he's going the way of Clint Eastwood, where it's more cerebral, more thoughtful, and I don't think the Han Solo, the standalone Star Wars films need thoughtfulness. They do, of course. They need to be true to the Star Wars theme, but it needs to be edgier, and especially with Rogue Nation being okay,
right?
It really needs to hit heavy. So I hope Ron's ready for this.
Well, you got these two directors that are these comic. They're supposed to like put in this comic feel to this movie, but you don't want to ruin the character of Han Solo and make him too much of like a like a bumbling comedic character.
Right. Yeah, you want an action guy.
Yeah,
you want Han Solo to come out
and that's when Disney or Lucasfilms come in and they said your picture of this movie is not what we think it should be. You're done.
I'm kind of scared now though for them to pull director out this late because they already released set photos and props and stuff. Like the film is already
well,
in
they're doing the
progress.
same thing for Justice League. Joss Whedon had to come in. Late and
for the reshoots,
pull it together.
But I mean,
this is pretty much the same thing.
The film's already done being shot for Justice League. You want to set an example? Like that one's already done, right? But this one is just started, and now to change directions this late in the game,
well,
it'd be interesting to see what's going on.
He's still got a lot of film in the can that he's going to have to use. Figure out how to mesh with his type, of movie. I
just hope that Han Solo gets to come out swinging. You know what I mean? Because like we expect this anti-hero guy, shooting, blasting his way through situations, like action-packed. So hopefully we get that.
So here's my thing. It's like Disney, they wanted Han to shoot first, and the directors, they wanted Greedo to shoot first. And they were like, nope, sorry, you're done.
Well, one thing I can guarantee is that in picking Ron Howard at this time frame, they've made a good choice in the fact that he's dealt with big films.
Sure.
And so he's not going to be overwhelmed coming in with having, some...
Oh, no, he's a veteran. It'll be smooth.
Yeah.
And he's actually worked with Lucasfilms before. George Lucas was the writer on Willow.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Love that movie. Still waiting for a sequel.
Oh, well, they're doing Dark Crystal again. So
Right?
uh,
It's happening.
On Netflix.
Everything old is new again.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Starring Jeff Goldblum. Well, that's really cool,
Uh,
Adam. Thank you so much for that.
You got it.
Thank you, Adam.
You're
Yeah, Sam loves you, Adam. All right, the Concierge Chronicle this week. We have 3 ways not to be that guy in Vegas. Yes, double gun.
Yeah.
Double gun.
Shooter McGavin. You know.
And the subtext is Vegas veterans know who you are, and yes, we do. You're like a beacon in the night. What you do.
Well, I think they're beaking in the night because of that spray tan and that
Yes.
glasses they wear at night with
That's
all
right.
the specs on there. You're like, whoa, calm down. You're indoors, buddy.
Right, but I didn't say the 3 top ways because there are so many ways. So I
To
said
spot them.
this
yeah.
is the first 3 ways that I think is the best way. Number 1, stop dropping names. No matter who they're talking to, a concierge, I got it a million times, a dealer,
Yeah.
a doorman, whatever. Stop dropping names. We don't care. We don't care.
Nope.
You're not a high roller.
Nope.
You're not friends with my shift boss,
Yeah.
and you're not part of Bruno Mars's entourage.
Unless I specifically got a call saying that
Yeah.
you're coming down,
Yeah.
it don't matter.
Yeah. So I know you're trying to get in the club. I know you're trying to get with all the pretty girls. Or you're trying to
I
get,
know, man. You drop just $100 at the blackjack table. You're not a high
Yeah.
roller.
No,
No.
you barely get 1 ticket to the buffet, and probably you don't.
You probably
Yeah, because
No,
the
no,
buffet's
You
know
barely
not
get a
free
bottle
anymore.
of water.
Exactly. So I've seen it. It still happens. There's those guys, especially the guys that are trying to score, which is coming up.
they're trying to impress somebody.
Yeah,
or-
they impress somebody or
Right.
score comps.
Right.
Stop. Just stop. You're killing us. You're not important. No one's important. Come here, have fun. Come here. do what
Exactly. Just relax.
if you want to be a high roller, be a high roller. You better whip out that Chicago roll with the rubber band around the aces and
That's
start
right.
flipping those hundreds at us. Then
you'll get some attention.
Yeah, it's old school. It's the way it used to be.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Stop doing it.
And don't drop the the bad names. I know Mr. Maloof.
Yeah.
I know Johnny Brendan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so does the bankruptcy
Justin
court.
Bieber's my
Yeah.
homie.
Yeah,
it's not gonna work.
Justin Bieber. yeah. All right, number 2, and this goes along with number 1. If number 2, see number 1. Stop comp fishing.
Oh,
You-
jeez.
There's a pat answer for everybody comp fishing. You haven't played enough.
Nope.
Adam, you've seen this a million
Oh
times.
my God! You know how many people come up and try and play like $10 and want
Yeah.
a free buffet?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Like, come on,
Here's the
guy.
thing. Oh my God, guys. Here's the thing. When I was working at the Players Club, I see your freaking play. I see your percentage. I see everything.
Yeah.
It's all on
You're
the computer.
a freaking liar. Get out of my
Yeah.
freaking line. You're wasting
Yeah.
my
You're
time.
like, I just spent $500 here last night. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
No.
No, you didn't.
Right here, it just told me you spent $20.
And if you did, they
Yeah.
would have
2
given you
seconds.
something last night.
Exactly. So put
Don't-
your shirt on, throw your beer away, and stop talking to me. And then number 3. This is the one that is relatively new because they've become so prevalent in our clubs and our pools. Stop. And again, we have a theme here. Do you see it? Stop.
Stop.
Stop telling everyone you have a booth at the club or a cabana at the pool.
Yeah. Come hang out. I got a booth.
Honestly, no one gives a shit. I know you're trying to you're trying to impress the ladies. And but honestly, they don't need to have your booth. They can walk in free anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
You go
Yes.
up there.
Plus, these ladies sometimes
ladies
get
run
paid
this
to
town.
walk in.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, the ladies run this town.
Girls-
Any like hostess or
Yeah.
or server,
Yeah.
cocktail waitress, like they're making so much crazy
Oh,
money. They got
absolutely.
so much power, like it's
Absolutely.
ridiculous.
And we've talked about the shills before. I mean, the girls that actually get paid to show up at different pools and
Exactly.
clubs.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I most of the people that say, "Hey, I got a booth at the club," well, you might have that, but you certainly didn't pay for the bottle service because they're charging anywhere between $2 and $5 for a lousy bottle of Grey Goose
Right.
and a dirty booth. And so give me a break.
Oh, and also you get like a small bucket of ice
Yes,
and 2 carafes of juice. And then once you're out,
Yes.
they
Straight
start
from
to
the gun,
bubble it more.
that's right. That's right. Orange juice because we're short on orange juice, But
Right.
but just when you come to Vegas, folks, and I know there's a lot of Vegas podcasts. There are some out there that I'm connected to, and they're really cool guys. And I know that it seems like we talk about negative things, but we're talking about the real Vegas. And I guarantee you that if you listen to us, and follow kind of the pathway we're giving you, you're going to have a fantastic time here. You don't need to. Go ahead, Sam.
I was gonna say, yeah, I agree with you because like we're here to help you to make your trip more fun. Like,
Yeah.
we're not always bashing on Vegas. We're just telling you the truth, how
Right.
it really works out here, which is, be nice, tip
Yeah.
out your people, stay positive, and have fun. Like, don't expect to win $1 billion. Like, just come out here
Right.
and just relax and have fun, but don't go ape shit.
Right.
Like,
And
actually use your common sense.
And don't forget that we actually are working here. This is our job. It's the job that you just left. That's 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, that you hate. We're here.
That's everybody working in the casinos,
doing that job.
Yeah.
So don't forget that. I think that's what
And
people forget.
24/7 too. All these industry
24/7.
people, they're
Yeah.
late nights and no sleep and
Because as I always say, and people, Susan's gonna laugh at me. This ain't Connecticut, folks.
That's
this
right.
is 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
We live with it. So please bring your humanity with you. We're sensitive, but we can help you if you don't act like a dick.
more than exactly.
Yeah, we
We're
can
more than
actually
happy to
help
show
you.
you the cool things
Yeah.
inside of Vegas.
So you're saying we're not in Kansas anymore?
We are not in
Not in
Kansas.
Kansas.
Yeah, we're not.
Okay,
in
I just
Kansas.
want to make sure.
But I think I'm going to bring this back up. We're going to, more ways to not be that guy and not be that
Yeah.
girl for that matter.
Sure.
Because girls are, even girls will say that girls act badly.
We can spot them
Not
too.
badly. We can spot them.
Any girl with a
Yeah.
sash on.
Yeah, they might as
You
well have
know,
a
like-
blue light on their head, and it's a Kmart.
Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah.
And their little walk of shame or trying to struggle walking those heels. It's like,
Oh yeah.
don't use the heels. You don't know how to walk in them. Please don't.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
just gonna look bad.
No, barefoot, black
Yeah,
dress,
we've seen the barefoot too. Yeah.
Heels
Oh.
slung over the back of their shoulder,
Yeah.
walking towards
No.
the room, and they're in the wrong hotel.
you gotta keep in mind that these hotels are like mazes. They try and keep you in there.
That's right.
So walking
That's
on
right.
heels on the strip all
Yeah.
night, you're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be sore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they well gosh, I should save these, but yes, they do pump AC in there.
Oh yeah. They gonna try and keep you awake.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
no clocks and no windows. 'Cause
yeah.
They don't want you knowing what time or how long you've been in there.
People used to say that they it was kind of a wives' tale that they pumped in pure oxygen. They make it very cold.
Right.
There's no clocks.
Nope.
There's air freshener everywhere to make it smell wonderful and flowery and neat.
And there's always a coffee shop.
Always a coffee shop. Yeah. So yeah, there's we'll have more of those. But
Yeah, we'll have more episodes of Vegas Secrets.
that's right. But now it's time for gear grinders, and I got a couple of them that are actually more serious to me than most. Political correctness must die. That's the note that I put. And
Sounds like a good movie title.
again, I'm talking to Sam and Adam, and they're a full, well, actually over at least a decade younger than I am. And it seriously, are we still being politically correct? Do you see it in your life? Do you see
All the time.
all the time?
All the time.
But do you see it from your generation? Specifically
Yeah.
from your you do.
We do see
Okay.
it quite a bit.
Okay.
It's the need not to want to offend anybody.
Yes, but why?
Um,
Why don't you want to offend somebody? And
because
and you don't even
everybody-
know if you will.
I don't know. Everybody's sensitive now.
Yes.
Super sensitive. So
Yes.
Everyone got a
one
goddamn
false
trophy.
move and somebody wants to sue you
Right.
or I don't even know. And it's
Here's my question.
Mhm.
Why would you be offended when I say yes sir, yes ma'am? It's like, it's manners. Why
Yeah.
would you be offended by that? I don't understand that at all. How is that?
Well,
bad?
I'm talking about the just the straight out offenses, the Archie Bunker epithets that go ahead.
Oh, okay.
And a
okay,
guy
I see
come
where you're
into-
going. Yeah.
Pizza Hut the other day.
Yes.
And our normal thing is, what's your name, what's your phone number, so we
Mhm.
can look you up. Well,
Right.
this guy was offended that I was asking him what his name was. Offended. And
Then how
stormed
the hell are
out.
you supposed to know what he
Yeah.
wants?
He goes, I'm a
Okay.
paying customer with cash. You don't need to know any of my information.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. See, that's a person that I know. I know that guy.
Yeah. He's one of those guys.
He thinks that by doing that and all the other things that he does, he's going to stay off the grid.
Yeah. That the CIA is going to get to him through.
You're on the grid. If you ever had a driver's license, you're on the
Yeah.
grid. You're an idiot. No, I'm talking,
That's just
Sam.
one.
I'm talking, and Adam. I'm talking. Back in the day, maybe you guys don't know who Archie Bunker is. All in the Family. Do you remember that show, Archie
Yes.
Bunker?
know the name. Never seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carol O'Connor. He's passed away, but he was that show was a huge step forward for entertainment and people, but it was very controversial because, in fact, that show today could not exist on our television. could not, because he used the word chink. He
Sure.
used the word dago and wop.
He broke the barriers.
Yeah, he broke huge barriers. He didn't use the N-word, and I won't either because I don't want to have that problem.
But remember the episode though where he did meet the black guy, and like he was in shock.
No, no, but I remember very clearly he used epithets like coon. You know, and so, he used some that probably today's black culture don't even remember. Well, they probably do, but I'm talking about are people that weak and that worried about all of this is they can't take a couple of Now, is it right for me, for example, to call Sam a racial epithet, an Asian epithet? No, it's not. But Sam, are you going to roll over and die if I do? No. No,
I don't know. I might
it's almost
my participation trophy.
Yes, exactly.
I think it's almost both. Like, people can't take insults, but they can't take compliments anymore either.
Exactly.
You know
absolutely.
So
absolutely.
it's just
hand
like
in hand.
this culture nowadays. We just can't talk to people anyway without stepping across the line.
No, I think between the political correctness, Mark Zuckerberg, and our lack of being able to moderate any of our habits, we are literally heading towards not touching, talking, or doing anything with anybody else.
Exactly like Wally.
Well,
exactly like Wally. Exactly.
I'm not defending political correctness, but I'm saying that's true. But the one safe place is with my group of my friends.
Yeah.
Because we can talk shit to each other, and no one gets butt hurt. No one like has to go tweet about it or go crying to their mother or their dad about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those situations where in our group, we make fun of each other, and if we catch you weak and cry and sad about it, we're just gonna pounce on you more.
Yeah.
Well, see,
that's just a group of friends.
Now I know I'm going to be attacked for being the classic. I'm the all-American white kid and had a good family and everything else. However, I have a very unpopular view as it regards this. I think that I think anything that is in an excess, obviously, I'm against.
Right.
But
anything in moderation is fine.
Yeah.
In excess, anything can be bad.
And the whole bullying issue. I mean, well, it's not new. We've had bullies forever. I think again we're back to a weak society. Sam, if you're not suddenly not going to be Asian, so guess what? You're going to have to deal with the fact that you're Asian and be proud of it and move on with some guy that calls you a chink. We taught
our kids nowadays instead of to
well,
face
that's
the
where I draw
bully.
a line though, because if someone does call me a chink, I don't know you, then I'm busting your fucking mouth.
Well, and that's fine, but our country doesn't do that anymore.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
So we've taught our kids now, instead of facing the bully and throwing down and ending it there, you go and you tell on them.
And the note I have is the victim effect.
Yeah.
We're now victims.
Yeah.
And now,
oh my God, he yelled at me.
Oh gosh,
for me.
yes. Yeah.
Let me have the day off.
And the true victim effect, actually, it's a psychological academic term, and it's referring to you don't identify with. You identify with for example, a famous person having a problem, being bullied, rather than seeing this entire problem of bullying. It's Kim Kardashian got bullied. Oh, well, it exists now.
Right.
I'm now a victim. Wait a minute, I'm a victim now.
Right.
And
that's ridiculous.
That's the problem, Sam. Yours was an old school view. You bust the guy in the mouth for calling you something bad.
Yeah,
well, we don't.
It's like me going around calling every white folk I see either a howly, a honky, or a cracker.
Yeah,
exactly.
well, then you'd expect to get, your face punched in.
Yeah, and it's just we no longer have a defense mechanism with the exception of I'm now a victim,
right?
And then you have to recognize me as a victim, and now let's talk about it, and now let's get on the news and talk about it, and now we have a movement. Well, no, you should have just hit the guy in the head. I mean, I just don't understand what's happened to this country.
I think some of it is probably because I see what you're saying, but that's not necessarily always the case. Because depending on where you're being raised at and who your parents are, they will teach you, to give back. Don't just sit there and take it and be a victim.
Well, yeah,
so
but
I see what you mean though. Like, I do see people that do play the victim, but I also do see folks out there that are still old school and raising their kids and telling them, fight back. Don't be the victim.
Well, it's just unfortunately the societal mores are leaning towards, the parents of the child who was called something and then claimed victimization. The parents supported it and then reported it to the school. The school then supported it, and now we have a new thing, and it's just I think the parents that you're describing, Sam, are few and far between. In fact, I think generationally, we don't have them currently.
We don't have enough, because
No.
I have a few close friends that are
They're fading out.
guys
Yeah,
that are old
they
school.
are fading out.
And I appreciate them, because I tell them every day, I appreciate you guys for doing the right thing, which is raise your kids the right way. But I do agree, they're far and few nowadays.
Yeah, and the scary part about it, is the pendulum swings very slowly. So I think it's going to be decades until we get back to being a stronger society. So there it is.
Unless we tweet about it, and then we can become a one strong tweet society.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, let's tweet about it.
That could just divide us even more.
Can you imagine we're all reduced to tweeting? Now, the second gear grinder is specifically for my industry and for me. I was actually talking about this with a colleague, Steve, and photography has changed. Personally, I don't think it's changed for the better. Between cell phones and GoPros and things of all the things that are now mobile, it is very difficult for me to be excited about images. And here's an example that I used in the conversation. Red Rock Canyon, which is here in Nevada, Las Vegas, about 30 minutes away. It is a beautiful place to go, wonderful place to hike, and one of those things that people don't know about, that's just off the strip. Well, between cell phones and all the other things and actual professional photographers, and it's been overshot, and there's just nothing, there's no special photography being done, and it makes my creative heart sort of ache, because I'm not inspired by anything anymore, because it's been trod upon by all these people, and it just kills me. Now here's an example, and I'll use a very famous example. Brooklyn Beckham, David's son, has now put out, published a book of photography, his photography, and it's awful. But the best review of it was a person that said, "I'm a huge fan of Brooklyn Becker's awful photography and terrible captions," and that's exactly what it is. And that's exactly what it is. It's bad photography,
and it's getting sold and
it's being sold, and it's probably going to hit the New York Times bestseller list.
Sure.
Because it's Brooklyn Beckham.
Because it's got a name. Sure.
Yeah. Now
and how old is this kid?
I have no idea. How old is
Well,
Brooklyn?
hang on, Jamie. I think we can solve your problem.
Yes.
What we can do is have you smoke a bowl of weed, right?
There you go.
And then you can become creative.
No, my thinking cap is always on. But that's what I mean by that. I'm very discouraged by and there are others, Microsoft and Adobe and all these people that are probably have these arguments that are against me. And say it's a wonderful thing that's happening. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. And
I don't know.
It's not about what you know; it's about who you know.
Yeah, I mean,
about what your name is.
Yeah, I mean, we're never going back. We're never going back to film. We're never going back to the heyday of Kodak, and we're certainly never going back to Ansel Adams. But I think that photographs no longer mean anything. It's a meme.
There's no meaning behind the photo. There's no thought process going into the process of it.
It's a 7-second captioned tweet that nobody gives a shit about, and I'm very discouraged by that. And that
is pretty disheartening.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I live in tech. I mean, that's my world. And I don't know. I was hoping for comments from other photographers that are listening and amateur or pro or whatever, and see how they feel. Again, the people are probably going to say, well, you're not tapping into your creativity. Well, yes, I do. I'm a very creative person. I just feel that
you're just inundated with the average work.
Yes, yes, exactly. The mundanity of it all. Yeah. But we'll leave all that negative stuff there. That was my gear grinder for the week. One extra note here, which I found Adam and I were discussing in the pre-show, which I found just to be funny because Adam and I agree. We think the Raiders inaugural event is going to go great, and then it's going to go fizzle out like a balloon.
It's going to be
Oh, it's gonna fizzle. It's gonna
then-
fizzle.
Yeah, we
so
just don't
hard.
see it.
The newest thing, which is not a big deal, it's one of those things that people have to deal with in Vegas. But apparently they turned in their initial plans, the pre-plans for the stadium, and the FAA said nope, it's too high. And I just
Exactly.
I laughed. I had to laugh because is that a very Vegas thing to happen? Nope, too high. The Luxor is sinking and the Raiders stadium's too high. But it's a big deal.
Where do you find like the guidelines for that though? Like, I mean, obviously, if you're going to
Well,
build a stadium like
right.
$1 billion stadium, you should probably know how high it can go.
Right.
But like, how do you turn in a plan that is kind of obviously wrong?
Because it's
Exactly.
half-assed.
You know,
Everything's
like-
half-assed, dude.
Yeah,
They're just
totally,
rushing it to make
totally.
the money.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
Trying to meet a deadline on proposed stadium drawings. So here you
Right.
go. Here's one.
I don't think it wasn't off by a giant proportion. I think they tried to they had their plans. They want what they want, and they tried to sneak it in. And you can't sneak stuff in with the FAA. So they said no. So they had to go back to the drawing board. So it's stumbling block number 1 for the Raiders.
That's
Yes.
terrible.
So
Well,
I just
speaking
thought-
of stumbling, there's
Yeah.
stumbling block number 1
Yeah.
for the Mayweather-McGregor fight. I don't know if you guys heard about it this past week, but
yeah,
apparently the venue that they want to fight at, T-Mobile Arena,
T-Mobile, yeah.
is where our good friend Mr. Ice Cube has his basketball tournament, his 3-on-3 tournament, the same day.
Oh, it's already booked, huh?
Yeah, it's already
Really?
double booked. So
Wow.
so MGM's offering their spot for the Conor Mayweather fight.
I'm sure.
Yeah, MJ's like, yeah, we'll have it over here.
I'm
If-
sure.
if
I'm
you
sure.
want to-
T-Mobile is just devastated by that.
But the fighters, they want to go to T-Mobile because it's a newer place. They want to be cool. You know what I mean? They want to use a
Really?
new spot.
Yeah, but it's smaller, isn't it?
It's smaller.
Isn't yeah.
It's significantly
It-
smaller.
It doesn't matter to these guys. They'll make money either way.
Right.
But long
Oh,
story
sure,
short,
but-
from what I saw in the news, is that Ice Cube said that he's willing to switch venues, quote unquote, for
Really?
a fee. And I thought that was just hilarious.
There you go,
That's so
kid.
That's
hilarious.
right.
There you go.
This guy and his 3-on-3 basketball tournament is, he'll willingly move from T-Mobile to MGM Arena easily as long as they pay him for it. And I'm like,
That's right.
come on, dude. You're gonna
Yeah.
get a
Welcome
way
to
bigger
Vegas.
venue.
That's right.
Calm down.
He's not that far out of Compton. He knows what he's doing.
Give me the vid.
Yeah, I know. That's what
Yeah.
that was smart. It was a brilliant financial move.
Well,
That's
and
good
you
stuff
know,
laughing.
I think that true, that he was booked first in, first
Yeah,
come
they
first
didn't know
served.
this fight was going to happen until
And
a
it's
couple
not
weeks
like
ago.
it's not like Cube is unknown. I mean, and this has been going on the 3-on-3 forever. So
Oh yeah,
he
it's been out
deserves it.
since this year, right?
Yeah, but what he should do is what Cube should do is get a hefty payment for moving and then give that payment to charity. I think that'd be a good move.
There
You know
you
what?
go.
That sounds
Yeah.
brilliant. That sounds really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, but who knows? I don't know. Does anybody care about McGregor and Mayweather?
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
After the last fight, it was so bad that I won't
Yeah.
order this one. Even though I want to see it, I won't order it.
Yeah,
We don't have to order
everybody-
it. We'll go pay the $20 fee at B-Dubs or Hooters, and we'll go watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't personally
Yeah,
care.
I'll just
but
watch
it
it on YouTube.
But I hope Mayweather wins for one reason only. Boxing needs a shot in the arm, I think, and for such a graceless sport that MMA is, I think that I don't think they would.
That they're going to get it from that.
They're going to get it from that. No.
Well, what they need is another star that's like a Mike Tyson or
Right.
Another big name that's going to come in and.
Well, I mean, there's a few out there. There's a few, but
Canelo's one of them.
Yeah.
But he can only do so much. I mean, he can
Well,
only,
Canelo is one of them, but I don't think that he's got that draw for like the non-boxing fan
Right.
to really get them to order the fight. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I'm
Right.
not gonna look out for Canelo fight to go order that.
I think another thing too, though,
Yeah.
that people won't order fights anymore nowadays is that a lot of people honestly know about the Fire Stick trick. Like everyone has a friend in a group that has a Fire Stick, the Amazon Fire Stick, where they attach their TV and they can just download everything and stream it live.
Yeah, it's not illegal
So I
because you're
think-
streaming.
I think that's the other reason too.
Well,
people don't order fights
I thi-
anymore.
Yeah, I think you're referring to the Cody thing,
Yes.
and I think that's going to be over very soon.
I think so too.
Yeah,
they need to
that's-
smash that.
Yeah, because I have a Fire Stick, and I know about Kodi, but I think the federal government and Amazon and HBO and everything, they're all attacking it. So, but but Mayweather is he's not a likable person at all. Although everybody and their brother says McGregor is such a great guy and likable, I don't see it. I certainly don't see it. It's not the perception he gives out there in the public.
Well, he could have that alter ego too.
Yeah, he could.
Well,
He
I'll
could.
like McGregor more when I run into him at Popeyes. I guess it all depends on how many times I can run into him at Popeyes to determine how cool he is to me.
Yeah, well, Floyd.
We actually did see Floyd at
Yes.
at JCK.
Yeah, we were shooting the jewelry.
Snap!
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, if he wanted to come and check out the wares,
Yeah.
had his
The
security
girls
entourage.
you were with, did they have black eyes or
It-
just regular eyes?
Well, there were some big dudes. There were
Yeah,
no
they
girls.
didn't have any girls.
No girls.
Yeah.
No girls. Okay.
Yeah, and they were very adamant that no one photograph or film. It was in and out. It was typical Floyd. It
Yeah.
was typical
Yeah.
Floyd, But no, I don't think anybody cares at this point. I think they've drawn it out
It's kinda
so
sad to
far.
say.
I gotta say that I'm a small guy, and he was not very impressive to me.
He was a very small guy.
Yeah,
but,
he's like, if I put on 15 pounds of muscle, I could be his frame.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that's how small of a guy he is.
Yeah.
So,
And you got to act like an ass.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
So there you
Gotta
go.
have the. I don't digress.
All right.
I guess the only difference between you and him, Adam, is the bank account.
Oh, you think?
A little bit.
Not the obvious difference,
no,
but
yeah.
yes.
That's it. No, that's it. Just the bank account only.
I just want one of his duffel bags. That's it.
That's right.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh, that'd be
the $1 million duffel.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So supposedly he carries around a duffel bag with $1 million cash on him at all times, in
Yeah.
case you didn't know.
yeah.
Yeah. So.
He wasn't carrying
Must be
anything
nice.
when I saw him.
No, I didn't see him with the duffel bag. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. But all right, guys, it's time for Area 52. We got an interesting one, considering we love to talk about movies. Las Vegas, of course, is the epicenter for most movies. It's almost a requirement. You have to either start or end or have Las Vegas in the middle of your film. And the very first movie, and I'll have to qualify that by saying it wasn't technically a movie, but they're going to call it a movie, is called The Hazards of Helen. A little bit of background. We're talking in 1914, I believe. And Helen was one of the first heroines on film, and she was like an old Western, white hat kind of thing.
Okay.
And she would catch bank robbers, and she would get all the towns would love her. But it wasn't technically a movie, but it was really interesting. And then the way it has a crossover to what we're doing right now. They did, for The Hazards of Helen, they did 119 12-minute episodes. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, 119 12-minute episodes. And it was all Hazards of Helen. And it just followed her exploits, and several of which were shot here in Vegas. And that's exactly where it came from. I think we lost Sam, maybe.
No, I'm still here.
Okay. I thought it was something else. No, but I just found it interesting considering the format of podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah, real short episodes,
Yeah,
like
short
webisodes almost.
Webisodes,
Yeah.
podcast style. Early podcast style. Now we're a little bit longer, but real quick drive time. Hazards of Helen.
Where did was this on a TV? Like 12-minute, like?
No.
mini
In
episodes? Yeah,
a movie theater. In a movie theater.
How do they
All like the
show 'em?
dailies, like back then.
Was it only like a 12-minute episode, like, and then they would
Yeah.
put them out
Exactly.
episodically? I guess.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Huh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I
They
mean,
released them in theaters, right? That's how they did it.
released them in the small theaters. Yeah.
So like the dailies, as they
and
Would
were
then-
it
back
would
then.
it like run before another movie?
No, it was
Or
not.
would be
It was not like a
specifically-
trailer. It was not like a pre-film.
That's interesting.
A short. It wasn't like a short. And ultimately, they ended up in the personal viewers. But back in the day, when you now it's all porn, but when you look, you had a little personal viewer, and you could crank the film and watch a Hazard of Helen episode.
Interesting.
Yeah, but you certainly couldn't binge it. Yeah, you saw it or you didn't see it. But 119 of those, a couple of which were shot in Vegas. So that was the very first
cool.
one. Yeah.
Were they
That's
all?
pretty interesting. I
Were
enjoyed
they?
that fact.
Yeah.
Were they silent movies?
They both. They started off silent, and then
Then they found sound, so they start using sound.
Yeah, they weren't full talkies. I don't believe they had just sound effects in them.
Right.
Yeah. Does anybody know the first film credited? The first ever fully
Film with
released
sound?
film? Yeah. No, the very first film. Very first.
No.
Yeah, full length feature. You got to look it up. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's called Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the director, it was a great story. The director had to have a stampede, and he only had 4 horses. So he
Gotcha.
literally ran the horses in a circle to make the stampede and shot it that way.
Nice.
It was
Got
hysterical.
to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Movie magic.
Birth of a Nation, and I believe I saw it on a list that it is being redone as a current film. Yeah.
See, they're going all the way back now.
Pretty good.
Hollywood has no creative ideas.
No, that's it. There's only 6 stories, and then now
That's right.
we're going to
That's
repeat
right.
it. Yeah, all starring Jeff Goldblum. Sam, thanks for calling in, man. I hope you get feeling better real soon.
I think.
Oh, now we did lose Sam.
Yeah, we did lose Sam.
Oh, no.
Oh no, I'm still here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so Sam, get better. And
Thank
I think Sam and Adam might be doing next week.
We'll be doing a little duo episode next week. Jamie will be out of town.
Cool.
So,
All right.
see you guys next week.
So
Sounds
check
good.
out. In fact, you'll be episode 20. That's a big deal.
Nice. Yeah.
Very
2-0.
All right, we'll make sure we cover everything important.
Not quite legal to drink yet.
That's right. That's right. But get well, Sam. I'll see you soon.
Definitely. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
sir. We'll
All
talk
right.
soon.
Hey, thanks to everyone for listening and watching today. You can catch the Pod Bay Door on the Podbean app or any of your favorite podcast apps, including iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, and Stitcher Radio. You can watch the show on our YouTube channel at the Pod Bay Door Podcast. Please download, like, and subscribe. Our social connectivity screen is coming up. Check in with us on Facebook, Twitter, and WordPress. The Pod Bay Door is closed, and talent is out.
Thanks for listening.
Sweet.
Hey everybody, thank you very much for tuning into the show. We would love to hear your show suggestions and comments. If you are watching on our YouTube channel, please click to subscribe. You can also connect with us on Facebook using @PBD Podcast, on Twitter using @TPBD Podcast, and on WordPress at thepodbaydoor.wordpress.com.